this channel. And yeah, announcements. All of our regularly scheduled streams, if you want to catch our other stuff, are down below our faces if you're watching this on Twitch live with us right now, or if you're on YouTube or some other website where I don't know our content currently exists. You can find it on our Twitter, pinned to the page, or our Twitch page, or ask one of us and we'll tell you, because we're nice people most of the time. Let's see. I don't really have that many announcements. This Saturday we had initially. You're all looking at me like, what are you doing?
I give you that look because I'm glad we're using the captioner because we were muted for like the first 15 seconds of that I had to do.
Oh, you're giving me a look because you fucked up.
Yes.
Oops.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay.
Well, better than our Overwatch stream, which was entirely muted.
What was it?
Yeah, we realized it later.
Oh,
That's
shit.
what happens when OBS and Windows update and don't play nice together.
Yeah.
We are, without a doubt, the most professional streaming outfit I have literally ever seen. So, watch our shows. But they're fun and we have fun and we appreciate you being here with us. On Saturday, we would normally have a regularly scheduled Saturday nights D&D game. And then we said we weren't going to do that because me and Sean were supposed to be traveling. And then guess what? There's a hurricane headed for Florida. So we may or may not be. We don't know what's going to happen on Saturday. But if we're home, we might just be stuck in our house playing games. And if we are, we'll put them on the internet. So keep an eye on our Twitter or join our Discord, and we do our announcements there as well. But we'll let you know if something's going to happen. And for our regularly scheduled stuff, obviously check our schedule, which is why we have it. I don't have anything to announce. Does anybody have anything they want to plug before we get started? Sean, you want to probably talk about the Dark Galaxies Kickstarter?
Yeah. Kickstarter hasn't started yet, but we are still working on the project. So Dark Galaxies Gaming is putting out their Tales of Doldaria module, 5e 5th edition D&D module we're currently working on. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a little bit sort of like meta narrative and fantasy and all sorts of fun kind of stuff. You can check out a whole description of what was actually put out there on Dark Galaxy's Patreon. If you go to their Twitter at Dark Galaxies Gaming, and follow the links there, you can find a description of it. And then if you're interested, throw a little money their way, because every little bit helps, and helps get them in a better spot. It gets us in a better spot, so when the Kickstarter starts, it'll be good to go. That's all I got. Also, I think we mentioned, I don't know if we should, if we've plugged that tomorrow we're thinking about doing a video game stream. I think Dylan wants to host a a forest. Dylan and I came up with a custom game type for the forest, which we haven't played here in a hot minute. It's going to be a most dangerous game style forest mod variant something. So we'll be probably doing that tomorrow night. So come hang out.
Yeah, we'll tweet when.
Yeah.
If that ends up happening. But if it does, it's bound to be silly and fun. So coming out with us tomorrow night, and then maybe on Saturday, and then moving forward.
Well, on Wednesday, next Wednesday, Lindsay's not here to announce it, but we're going back to Tidefall.
Yep.
Session 1 of the new Tidefall game is going to be next Wednesday, and will then be bi-weekly. Morgan and I will be there, along with some other faces. So yeah, make sure you come check that out. We don't want to say too much, but where we are starting is very interesting. So make sure you check that out. That's going to be the normal Wednesday time slot. So that's
8:30 Eastern.
Yep.
Yay! And sorry, I lost my notes. Why does this always happen to me? I think I just get nervous and start clicking on things.
That sounds right.
Just kidding. I don't get nervous about anything anymore. Okay. Anything else? Tidefall and Kickstarter and yeah. We're very excited. Lots of awesome things coming down the pike. So, if those are all our announcements, then we'll go ahead and pick back up exactly where we left off last time, having finished your latest mystery. You all had returned to headquarters to sit down for another briefing for a brand new mystery that no one can solve but you. Or so it feels. Let's see. I'll just leave the mystery music for now. So, you all have sat down for your wonderful briefing video. Aiden Smith, front and center, reciting the words from memory, I assume. And after the projection screen goes down and the lights come back up, you receive a new set of orders. And they are as follows. You are told Aegis scans have picked up some unusual weather readings and events from a forest world named Taiga 13. Those of you who work here, but you all work here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Those of you that work here will recognize the naming convention of the planet. The word taiga refers to the biome that makes up the majority of this world. The number 13 refers to this being the 13th world of this biome that Aegis has encountered. I think you're all pretty familiar. Aegis uses this kind of naming convention for other worlds that they have not yet made direct contact with, or worlds that they have been observing but have not yet heard named by their own inhabitants. So they have to call them something. This one is Taiga 13. So this planet, Taiga 13, is a world consisting primarily of snowy, coniferous forests that border areas of tundra. So the taiga, for those of you who aren't aware, is also called the boreal forest. In the past few days, temperatures on this world have spiked much higher than average for what is currently their winter season, which dominates the majority of the world's year. Aegis expects temperature readings during this period to stay below freezing, but the past few days have seen temperatures more in line with the taiga's short summers, averaging around 64 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius. Yesterday, temperatures spiked to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. This is highly unusual, especially in such a short time span, and Aegis can find no natural causes of the temperature spikes. So you get to go. Yes, Agent Smith.
So is there like a Yeti or something we need to hunt, or some sort of evil doomsday cult we need to, or we're just going to fix the weather?
Well, you're going to find out what's
Okay. Just
causing. Is there a problem?
No. Just trying to get my dossier in order. Continue.
Yes. So the gist is, I don't know who this character is that is now magically in the room with you.
Somebody has to be briefing us.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of thinking that maybe you were just like given dossiers, but no. Now it's a person, and her name is Donna. And Periwinkle, you'd know her very well because she's part of your regular department.
Yay.
And she's very nice, but sort of buttoned up and a little stern. and looks around at all of you and asks if you have any more questions.
So I assume we are just meant to find what may be causing the spikes, and we have already ruled that it is climate change, global warming. You know how terrible that is on the planets we've encountered it on.
Well, that's just a myth. That doesn't actually happen.
Well, many in our science department would disagree with you, but guess you'll have to see for yourself.
All myths
but
are
yes.
true except global warming.
Except climate change.
Oh no.
Don't care what the cause of it is. That's what I'm calling these episodes. And
Get some interesting YouTube visits.
Donna says. And by episodes, of course, I mean the reports that you turn in documenting your adventures, as your colleague Theodosia sometimes calls them in the field. But yes, the gist is that we've looked for natural causes. All of a sudden, in the last week, there have been these huge temperature spikes. We can find no natural cause, no reason for them. So that's where you come in.
Are there any other agents on the planet?
Not currently, no.
Okay.
And presumably based on the naming convention, there is not a particularly sapient race of creatures we should be making contact with. This will more or less be going into the wilderness.
Correct. We are not currently aware there is life on the planet. Your pretty standard variations of creatures that might live in the taiga and the boreal forest. None of them speaking, and if there is something more sentient, they're not on our radar. I would say bundle up, but it was 86 degrees there today, which it shouldn't be.
So perhaps we will bring the coats in and leave them in the van as needed.
Practical. Oh, and Smith. She hands you a envelope that you recognize.
I assume it's like matte black with a big silver stamp on it. It says confidential.
Yes.
Yeah. Adding to the lore. Okay. When I get a moment alone, I pop it open, see what my secret mission is.
Okay. It's super simple. There is just a note from your supervisor. Your supervisor. That's a hard word sometimes, I guess. That says that the unit has reason to believe some sort of creature might be causing the temperature changes, based on the readings and the spikes, and also the lack of natural causes. And then in bold letters at the bottom, proceed with live capture.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I guess we should bring coats just in case. I mean, if we fix it, it's gonna get cold there again. So, cold weather gear in the trunk.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe something for warm weather in case it keeps getting even worse. I mean, hopefully it doesn't get much warmer, but don't know.
Trying to think what Lefla would even wear in different temperatures.
Sandals. His shoes become flip-flops.
Oh, now I'm just imagining an oversized beanie just covering their entire body for the cold.
That's cute.
Okay.
Look like a ghost.
Yeah.
Cute. I just put the glasses on top of it.
All right. So, going to prep the mom van, bringing some winter gear along. Is they just giving us just like climate monitoring tools, or are we just being sent out to like go poke at stuff, see if we can figure it out? None of us being climate scientists.
I don't know. Whatever you guys think you should bring, they'd probably give you. So.
Well, that makes sense. Some sort of monitor, like temperature gauge, a
Mhm.
thermometer.
Absolutely.
I'd like to. I assume this would probably be appropriate right now, since my secret mission is to live capture this thing. Can I try to requisition like tranquilizer rounds or something from? I don't know. I have my move to request help or gear from the agency. I don't know if that would be appropriate right now.
I've been kind of, well, relegating is not really the word that I'm thinking of, but I've been kind of, I guess, interpreting that move as like when you're out in the field. I think you can probably just have those.
Okay.
It seems since you're at headquarters and you have these like specific orders to do this thing, they're probably not going to be like, but nope, you can't have anything to do it.
You're playing the game on hard mode.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Anything I think that you need, like that you discover that you need later on down the road, or like from out in the field, I think is fair game for that move. But
Okay.
it just seems kind of mean.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, I want some tranquilizer rounds. I guess for my. Well, I guess there's probably some sort of special gun to shoot those, because I don't think those would just go in my submachine gun.
You cannot have enough tranquilizer rounds to use in a submachine gun.
Okay, fair.
That seems like too many.
What if it's a really big beastie, though? I like it.
Sure. Yeah, I think that you get a tranquilizer gun and I don't know, 5 large tranquilizer darts for tranquilizing things.
Okay.
Make them count.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's all I need.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, ready to go.
Okay, let's go figure this out.
Alright, to the mom van.
All right, and you all 3 pile into the mom van. Does anyone have any beginning of a new mystery move
I
they need to do?
I have one. Hang on. I gotta pull up my sheet.
Smith, do you have a... You don't. I'm thinking of something else.
No, I just have my thing that happens whenever something bad is happening.
Oh, that's what it does. Okay, mine is... Where is it? Destiny's Plaything. At the beginning of each mystery, roll plus weird. Alright.
They really missed an opportunity to name that move Destiny's Child.
Ah, if only. Oh,
Good.
my weird is really weird now. Alright, here goes. Boop. That's my roll to 7.
That's really bad.
Is that... Have you rolled a mixed success every time?
Yeah, I think so. Every time I've done this move.
That's
Someday.
it. All right, let's see.
Still getting this whole vision thing is.
So you get a vague hit about the immediate future.
Yes.
Okay. A vague hit. Okay, yeah. So I think as you are piling into the mom van with your colleagues, nay, friends, I think at this point, do you think that, I don't think I've asked this before, for these specific visions, like, do you think that Periwinkle always just like gets hit with them, or like at this point is she sitting down and saying like, okay, this has happened a few times, maybe I should be ready for it? Or is she like actively seeking them out, or are they always a surprise, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that they're becoming more regular, she's like trying to prepare for it, but I think they still sort of catch her off guard sometimes.
Okay.
But in general, she's like trying to be more aware of them.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, this one I think it probably sneaks up on you a little bit just with a 7. But yeah, I think you, as you're piling into the mom van, you start to feel really warm. And I think it's, for a moment you probably think, oh, like, I'm moving around and like gathering my things and everything, like it's a little warm in here. And then I think as you like settle into the van, you start to feel like hotter and hotter, almost like this like flash of heat. And then I think before your eyes, just like very quickly, you get this this flash of a vision, and you see like sort of like gray and brown stone under your feet, sort of cracking and like drying out, almost as if like something is happening like very fast motion, crackling and drying out underneath your feet. And in front of you, you see this grove of trees that is just like ablaze.
Okay.
And then it goes away.
Yeah. I think like while this is happening, like her like eyes are sort of like swirling like different colors. Like normally they're sort of like a blue color, but like maybe it like kind of like shifts a little bit. Her buggy eyes. What are those called? When they're very faceted. Those kind of eyes. I know there's a name for it.
Compound eyes.
Yeah. She has eyes like that. Compound eyes. Thanks, friend. And yeah, it's like kind of like turns to everybody like, well, it's getting very hot there. I hope we figure this out quickly.
Yeah, me too. Are you all right?
Yeah, just I have a feeling we should get to the bottom of this as quick as possible. Before everything's on fire.
Alright, going quickly, but do you need a minute or are you ready for the dimensional travel?
No, fine, let's go.
Smith like takes his bottle of like ibuprofen out and like pops 3 of them and puts it back.
Here we go.
Here you go. Indeed.
Shoot, do I need help out with this? I feel like we've had somebody help out each time.
Yeah, I am gonna have somebody roll for traveling, and it's been so long since the last time we did it, I can't remember what I made you roll. But let's see.
Honestly, it was like either weird or sharp, because I remember like Theo did it like the first time.
Yeah, probably weird, I think. And then for like, I don't know, navigating interdimensional travel will be weird. And then if somebody wants to roll to help out, you can do that as well. Get a team effort.
I mean, I can try to help out, but I should not be the weird one here.
Okay. I could be the weird one.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Alright. Let's try this again. Oh wait. Let me click. Oh wait, I should have waited till you rolled. Shoot.
Well, I got a 7 total to help out because that's with cool, right?
Yes, that is plus cool. So yeah, that would give Periwinkle a +1 to the roll, but you expose yourself to trouble or danger. Good to know.
Okay, and then adding the +1
Makes it a 10.
makes it a 10. I was
Yeah.
like, wait.
Okay.
Sort of zoom around.
Let me put a note on here.
Left
Ominous note.
Trouble.
Ooh, Leffler gets sent to the principal's office on the way. Yeah, so but two of you, Smith, what are you doing while these two are sort of navigating their way through all of time and space?
Just rubbing my temples, trying to get rid of this migraine I feel building
Yeah.
from
All
the
right.
probably brain damage that I have from the 2 days ago I got knocked unconscious.
Yeah, there's probably a concussion in there somewhere. Oh well, don't get kidnapped, kids.
Duty calls.
Yeah, but so the two of you, Leffla and Periwinkle, expertly navigate your way through whatever this wormhole type thing is. I should really like come up with names for these things, but nope, not gonna do it. Yeah, and a few minutes later, you find the mom van rolling its way out of one of these tunnels. The lights sort of flashing and going past you, and with a popping sound, this portal sort of closes behind you, and you find yourselves looking out the windows of the van into some sort of clearing in a forest with tall trees. Totally lost the name of the trees, but there are trees here.
Coniferous?
Yep, that's probably the word I was looking for. There was a specific tree, but yes. There it is. Yes.
I thought you
Snowy
said
coniferous forests.
I thought you said carnivorous for a second.
Aw,
Which
you
reminds
spoiled
me-
my mystery.
Which reminds me, I have a move called Humans Know Their History. When you
You do.
enter a new place for the first time, you can tell your keeper one interesting fact your creature would know about it. If you've got nothing, your keeper can give you one fact your character would know instead.
Okay.
Can I make carnivorous trees my one fact about this world?
Oh! All of the trees?
Sure.
Not all of them, but I think there's like
Some of them choose to be vegetarian.
I think there's a species of well, actually, you said there were no. Well, you said there were no sentient life forms, like, but there are like creatures that come from here that we would presumably maybe have heard of.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. My
I said, yeah, I think I said your standard variations of like creatures that would live in a boreal forest. Nothing that has been able to make contact.
Okay. So I think as we're arriving, I'm telling a story about there was like the first exploration, expedition that came here. They found some like beautiful like pines that they tried to transplant and like take back to our world, Locus. And didn't learn until they got there that the tree was actually like some sort of mimic, like carnivorous plant adjacent creature that then ate the entire expedition team.
The whole expedition?
Yeah, as far as I know, I mean that's I think one must have gotten away. Otherwise, I don't know how anyone would have known. It's sort of a legend around the water cooler.
And they sent us here with no backup?
Yeah, I mean they're trees; they can't move that fast. I mean, just don't go too close to.
Leffler gives you a look at their trees. They can't move that fast.
Trees.
Sorry, I didn't. No offense.
Anyway, so be on the lookout for giant people-eating trees. Good to know.
Yeah, just sort of. Gosh, yeah.
Maybe if we just tell them that we're coming in peace, maybe they won't eat us. Maybe that one ate the people because it thought they were being kidnapped.
As you're having this conversation, a couple of the trees on the edge of this clearing you've landed in kind of sway slightly.
Just like reach for my gun slowly.
I'm assuming that's the breeze. And just so we just so we're clear on this, I don't have any kind of, spores to communicate with other plants. So if we run into them, I will be my normal charming self, but don't expect anything extra special.
Okay. It'll be fine. They're not gonna eat us. We're trying to save them and their planet. It'll be fine.
Yes, I'm sure they will be very willing to sit down and listen to that as we are halfway down their gullet. So, do we have any directions, or are we just parking the van here and going for a hike?
Well, if we're trying to find the source of the temperature fluctuation, we probably want to move to where it's warmest. So, I don't know if the van has any geothermal sensors. We can...
We brought some equipment along, and they gave us, a very quick rundown on how to use it.
We'll start trying to triangulate the closest heat spike.
Alright, you can do that. Is there a roll we should make for that? Or
Use our fancy equipment.
Roll for fancy equipment. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for investigate a mystery, and then we can finagle as needed. So
Should we all roll that?
sharp. Anybody who wants to, unless you want to do a help out roll for someone instead.
that would be the same roll for me, so I'm gonna try to do some investigating.
Yeah, man. Well. Let me see.
Well,
Can I roll to trust my gut instead? Just sort of like that way.
What is it? It's just when you consult your instincts about what to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like this is kind of what this move's made for. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe not like being in a room and being like, how do I get out?
I hate you so much. You're never gonna let that go.
It was just the funniest thing to me. Oh, the door, maybe.
so I got a 6 total, but that means I get an improvement.
What?
I just have to decide what that improvement is going to be.
Oh man. Okay, and then let's roll. I need Perry's gonna try too. Needs equipment.
Oh gosh, I have to quickly look through the new playbooks and see if I want to steal a move. Should have been planning this.
Do this. There's some cool stuff. Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Just to be clear, Leffler has now opened themselves up to danger twice.
Yep.
Two
Hey.
saves.
My arc was the last arc.
Well,
the
if,
dice are making it again.
if you get eaten by a carnivorous tree, I did. That was not me.
It was you a little bit.
I
The
did
human
not
to
do
blame for that.
that. Damn it, now I have to change my whole monster. And I'm just kidding. Carnivorous trees is a good idea, though.
Right?
Okay. Sean, you rolled A.
9. So it says the keeper will tell you a general direction to go. Take +1 forward to explore that.
Great. That seems helpful in this particular situation.
Right?
And Morgan, you rolled A.
10.
Well, for investigate a
Yeah.
mystery. So yeah, you can hold 2, 1 for 1 to ask questions. Obviously, there's the list if you want to ask a little bit of a different question. That's also acceptable.
Okay. Maybe not like where did it go, or like maybe change that to like where should we go? I'm trying to get a direction.
Okay. I'll say for that, and also Smith, you get a general direction to go. So Smith, you're not consulting the equipment. You're just kind of
Yeah, just sort of like get out of the van and like stretch a little bit because my back's a little sore sitting in there for so long. And then I kind of walk around and I literally do like the finger in the air. like sensing like the wind, temperature difference, kind of look around and then just kind of go, I think it's that way.
Okay.
You're just holding like this device and sort of like scanning around.
So, like, dad on a road trip. Smith is looking around. Yeah, Periwinkle, I think you get some, are starting to sort of bring in some general temperature readings. And this thing probably has a pretty decent range on it because it makes more sense for it too, because the temperature right around you is probably all going to be the same. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I was a theater major, so I don't know why I keep running these games that involve science. But yeah, I think you can get a general idea of the temperature fluctuations sort of around you, and I'm going to say off to the east. The same kind of general direction that Smith has licked his finger and then pointed at. You get a little bit of a temperature fluctuation, as in it is warmer by a couple of degrees that way. And then Smith, I think you can. I want to say that you see something, but unless you're fine with just being right about which direction to go.
Yeah, I mean, I get a +1 forward to explore that direction, so that's fair.
Yeah, I think for now, based on your gut and kind of looking around, kind of surveying the terrain around you, and then Periwinkle sort of back up with the equipment, you feel pretty good about going east.
I think you're right. That does seem like the direction we should go, or at least it's warmer in that direction.
Well, if two versions of our highly trained equipment are pointing us the same way, I feel pretty confident that's the way to go.
Did you just call yourself equipment?
Yep, let's go.
Okay.
They'll just point me in the right direction. I'm still over here trying to pick a move. Maybe I should do a stat increase for now.
I mean, generally, that's a pretty good one to do.
But I kind of want the flakes. If someone lies to you, you know it.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna take that one.
Mr. Lie Detector.
Not that it's gonna be particularly helpful this mystery, so actually maybe I should wait.
Never know.
Leffler is driving the van to the east.
Yes, east is the direction we're going.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can drive the van that way for a while. So you, I think, pack back up, head that way. Every so often, sort of getting out, taking some more readings, and Smith kind of keeping an eye on the landscape, making sure you still feel like you're going in the right direction. It does get to a point where the forest starts to become pretty dense, so you're probably not going to be able to drive for too much longer. You're going to have to hoof it.
Guess we should park the van and walk.
Alright, fine by me.
Okay.
Soon we got some backpacks. Soon we can we make the assumption that we were prepared for the fact that we're probably gonna have to do some hiking.
I would say so.
Get little matching backpacks.
Just thinking if we have any kind of handheld scanner thing for some of the equipment to bring with us, or once we're on foot, it's just, well, what we got on our person, eyes and ears.
Yeah, I think at least what I think probably like a temperature gauge or something like that could be fairly portable. I don't see why you couldn't take that with you.
Thermometer.
It's not like it's not just like, yes, okay, it's a glass thermometer.
Oh, I was thinking like the little like gun that you like point at a thing and it tells you.
Nope, it's a mercury thermometer that you have to carry around, but you can't hold on to it for too long because your hands will make it warm.
I will say that as we get there, so Agent Smith has been wearing his, of course, agency issued suit this whole time. And we get there and we're looking out, we're getting ready, and he goes, all right, 1 second. He gets in the van and comes back out a little bit later, and is changed, and is now wearing the same suit, but boots.
Quite sure that's regulation, Agent Smith.
No, these are regulation boots. Just figure I shouldn't wear my loafers.
Yes, so there will be much mud and dirt, so. And you don't want to sprain your ankle. I'm not carrying you around while we're out here. And I don't think Perry would be very pleased if you sprain your ankle.
Yeah, I think boots are a good idea.
Right, shall we?
I mean, I kind of want to talk to that tree over there first. You know, just let it know that we're here to help.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, first just gonna like go over and like, kind of like look at this tree and like very hesitantly like, touch it, and then like kind of puts her hand on it.
Okay. You touch the tree?
I touch a tree, and it's just like we're here to figure out what's wrong. Please don't eat us. And then she like steps away from the tree.
Okay.
It's actually inspired Lefla, who at first is just like, okay, yeah, go talk to the tree. Wait a minute, because I remembered what my weird move is. I'm gonna go see if I can empath it and see if I can get
Ooh.
emotions from the tree, or if I just get it's a tree, it doesn't have emotions.
Okay.
I'm so glad
We're
that
talking
I
trees.
made this a thing.
Me too.
This is
Roll for
better
a
than
treat.
taco trucks.
Yeah.
This is way better than taco trucks. The taco trucks is pretty good.
Well, that's an 8 total. So on a 7 to 9, you gain a hazy impression of their current emotional state and intentions. You can use empath on anything with emotions, but the less human they are, the less safe it is for you. If the emotions are especially strong or alien, you might need to act under pressure regardless of how successful your roll was.
And you rolled what?
An 8.
Okay. Okay. You walk up to a tree. And do you touch it? Is this like a sort of focusing, like more magical thing, or are you just trying to like get some insight on the tree? How do you see this?
So I think it is, since it replaces my use magic, I think it is more of a magical, mystical thing.
Okay.
And, you know, I probably do go and just, like, put one viney tendril on it, just, like, see if it's, like, can't believe I'm doing this. They are going to give me so much heat for playing into the whole plant thing, but... And just see if I can sense anything coming from it.
Okay. Is this the same tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you lay a vine on the trunk of this tree, and there are a few sort of like sprigs and leaves kind of peeking out through different cracks in the bark, and I think you see them shudder, like just a little. I mean, totally could have been the breeze.
Mm-hmm.
But they do move. But then I think you leave. You touch the tree for a moment, and you're not really getting anything. And then you go to draw away, and I think you feel in the back of your mind just this slight, like, intrusive, like, suspicious feeling. You're not entirely sure where it came from.
Okay. I don't know if. I mean, it was a noble effort, Periwinkle, but I don't know if the tree got the message.
Oh. Oh, it's alright. I tried.
You did, and that's what matters.
Let's go figure out what's going on. Or everything catches on fire.
Okay. Anyone else want to talk to the trees? So you start to make your way on foot. And you are making your way through these forests. The farther that you travel this way, I think you notice there was sort of where you landed, I think a little bit of maybe a little bit of frost left on the ground. It seems like there are lots of patches where everything is just really wet, most likely from melting snow. You're not in the tundra per se. There are areas of tundra where it is like the coldest on this planet. You've landed pretty far away from one of them, but it is the middle of the winter here. It should be freezing. Everything should be sort of covered in snow for the most part, but it's not. Everything is wet, and it's sort of humid from where it's gotten very warm, and a lot of water has been introduced very, very quickly. And so everything is just kind of dripping and a little bit weighted down, and it's kind of odd. And as you continue on for quite a while, kind of following the equipment that Periwinkle was using before, and you've got sort of a handheld version of this, trying to keep on the path to the east, following Smith's instincts and also the temperatures toward where it is getting warmer and warmer. And you walk for a while. And so I think you come across another clearing in the forest, and you can feel it kind of as you go getting warmer and warmer, and suddenly you hit a point where you have hit this clearing, and you start to hear some sounds coming from ahead of you, essentially, and it sounds like almost like branches cracking, sort of crackling sounds, and all of a sudden, Periwinkle, I think on the piece of equipment that you have, the temperature goes up several degrees, which it shouldn't do so quickly.
Something's heating up really quickly.
I draw my weapon and I start to sort of scan the tree line around us, looking for, kind of surveying the area, what might be causing that and where the crackling is coming from. Can I try to read a bad situation?
Sure.
Does this count now? Do I get to use my +1 forward to are we exploring my weird thing?
Yeah,
before?
sure.
Okay. So I get to roll cool, 'cause my move, and it's +1. 11.
Wow. Okay. Da, 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 da.
So I get to ask 3 from the list. I can just read off the... You want me to ask them one at a time?
Yeah, let's do one at a time.
Okay. First one is, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yes.
Okay, next question.
Are there any dangers you haven't noticed? Yes. I mean, I think you are aware enough to know that the I mean, I think you can start to feel the temperature change a little bit. I think you're aware enough to know that the temperature shouldn't be rising this high, this quickly. I also think it is unsettling that you don't know what is causing it or where it's coming from. But you do notice where you hadn't before as you sort of come out into this clearing. As you look up where the canopy has cleared out a little bit, sort of off a little bit in the distance, you can see a trail of smoke rising.
Okay. I think, well, I was going to ask what's the biggest threat, but assuming you're about to tell me fire.
Where there's smoke. If there is some sort, if you are wanting to ask that, yes.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a very dense forest in a lot of places.
Okay.
Lots of things to catch fire.
Okay. And I guess my last question is what's the best way in? Like, meaning, like, what's the best way to move towards the source of all that, keeping ourselves out of, like, immediate threat of getting burned alive?
Okay. I think trying to keep an eye on where the smoke is coming from, since you don't see fire yet, is sort of vital. You, I think, do know if this is a regular fire, if this is a forest fire of some sort, there is going to be a lot of smoke producing if it starts to spread again, because everything is super wet, and so some of the stuff is probably not going to burn as easily. So if you can keep to where there are still sort of patches of snow or where things are melting, you're probably less likely to walk just right face first into a fire.
Okay.
But the smoke is going to pose a danger to you.
So I gestured towards the smoke, and I said, it's a little weird that there's a forest fire when it's so wet out here, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Usually it has to be dry for something like that. You're right.
Should probably go check that out and see what's causing it. I think this is the best way to go. Try to keep to the stream here.
Okay.
It's away.
You try to stick to a nearby water source and follow it towards the column of smoke that you see rising. It is not too far from you, and the closer you get, the warmer it gets, until finally you really start to approach, and you start to hear the sort of crackling of fire and feeling the heat. And I think as you break through a few of the trees, you sort of start to feel the smoke hanging in the air around you a little bit, the air getting thicker with the heat. Obviously a lot of it is going straight up into the sky, but it is still pretty dangerous. So sort of keeping to the water so as not to get burned. You come around and you finally see fire. There is a section of trees sort of off from this stream that you have been following that are burning very brightly and very hot.
Guess guess what I would like to try and do is see if I don't know if this would be investigate a mystery or read a bad situation, but see if there is any evident source. If whatever caused the fire is evident. Obviously if there's a big hulking devil creature just lurking in the flames.
Arr.
Yeah, I'll say read a bad situation.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a 12.
Yeah. Set as a 10 plus, hold 3. Spent 1 for 1 to ask any of the following questions or to tweak them as we see fit. So, you want to look for a source of the fire. It's hard to tell. It does for the moment seem to be contained to this pretty small area. But I think as you get a little bit closer, I think you notice most prominently that the fire is not just engulfing the trees completely. It almost looks like it is moving a little bit. The trees that are closest to you that have been scorched or burned out look very dry, and you can see sort of burrowed all into them, almost as if they have been like burned out in places in like tunnels and holes, just a few inches across. And it looks like the fire is sort of going through, almost like it's burrowing through the trees.
Okay.
So it's not just burning them up entirely.
So that's 1. I think the next question I want to ask is, what's the best way to protect the victims? The victims in this case being the trees. What can we maybe do to stop this fire from spreading?
I mean, other than your basic fire safety, fire prevention sort of tactics, you are near a water source. We are also in a forest. There is a lot of sort of wet dirt around you and everything that could potentially be used to put it out. This would probably be a pretty dangerous process. There is also the option of finding out what is causing the fire to behave this way and kind of cutting it off at the source.
Yeah. So then I guess this may be a combination of those, but what's most vulnerable to me in terms of how could I maybe cut the fire off at the source?
I think initially it's hard to say because it doesn't look like it is coming from one specific source. So you can sort of try to stop the movement of it. You can try to start kind of putting it out where you can get to it, but there's not necessarily like one flashpoint that you can point to and say, yep, if we get to there, it'll put the fire out.
Okay. This fire is not moving naturally. It's almost as if it is burrowing through the trees in little holes and burrows and tunnels. See how it's leaving parts of the trees still intact. So perhaps if we can, we've got some snow, we've got the streams there. Maybe if we splash at it a bit, we might be able to do something about this.
You think that the fire might actually be sentient?
Sentient might be a strong word, but certainly unnatural. Could still be a stimulus response kind of deal, but this is no natural fire.
All right.
Let's see. I'm gonna scoop up some water from the stream and try to onto the tree. Splash. What happened?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have you act under pressure.
So
Oh.
do they also benefit from the +1 ongoing while the information is relevant, or is it just for me?
That's just for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, act under pressure is a cool. Okay. Submit. A 6.
Okay. Yeah. So you, I think, get in pretty close and try to splash at one of these nearby trees. But I think as you do this, the fire that has sort of been like snaking in and out of this tree, burrowing through and drying out. Initially, I think you see it go out, at least where it was, sort of burrowing out of one of these holes in the tree. And then after a second, it reignites and almost leaps in this kind of like snake-like form to another tree that is near you, clipping one of your wings in the process. And I'm gonna have you take 1 harm. And as it does this, Periwinkle, I think as it sort of goes by you and clips you and it burns, and it just catches you for just a second, but it hurts, probably worse than it should. And I think you hear almost what sounds like this very small kind of screaming sound, like this very like high-pitched like whine as it goes past you, and it starts to sort of circle around the outside of a tree that is right next to you.
Ow, 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 that hurt. Yeah, something's weird about that fire.
Alright, I mean, I can take a look at your wing, make sure you are not too terribly injured, make sure it's not starting to burrow through you. That would...
It just clipped me, but, yeah, there's something weird about it.
Well, I'll see what happens. I shoot at the fire.
Just a bullet?
Just my bullets, just my submachine gun.
Okay.
Kill it with fire?
Let's see. Yeah, you do this. You shoot at it. Yeah, roll to kick some ass.
Kick that fire's ass. I assume this doesn't factor into my read a bad situation from before.
No.
Okay. 7.
Okay. Inflict harm on each other. Okay. Yes, I think you pull out your submachine gun and you fire toward what, this same tendril of fire. I think you do so. I think a couple of the bullets sort of fly into the tendril and impact the tree. And as this happens, Periwinkle, you're still standing right next to it, and I think you hear again this like high-pitched, almost sort of like shriek sound come from it. And Smith, it turns on you, and it and another nearby tendril that have been burrowing through a tree start making their way toward you, lashing out, and one of them kind of circles around your gun, and it starts to get hot in your hands, on like burning the palm of your hand, and you take 1 harm from that.
Is that...
Ignore armor.
Okay.
Because it's fire.
Okay. I go, gah!
I think you made him mad.
Alright. Definitely not normal fire.
Yes.
It's,
This is probably a terrible idea, but I still want to give it a shot. And as this has been going on, Lefla's been trying to scoop up a pile of snow that's, about half the size they are
Okay.
at this point. Which again,
You guys are getting burned alive, and Lefla's building a snowman. Continue.
getting ready to apply it to their burns as well, but is just gonna like trundle over and just huck it at some of the tendrils, seeing if he can't extinguish it completely.
Okay.
Because I have this +1 ongoing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you. I feel like this is either. I'm gonna say this will be act under pressure,
Okay.
as well with your +1 ongoing.
Well, good thing I have that, because that brings it up to up to an 8.
Okay.
Or no, 9, which is still the same.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where's alcohol hard? Where's the price to pay? Okay. Yeah, you can do this. Gosh, let's see. Yeah, so I think you can do this. This is going to take some extra effort. Snow is heavy, and you are going to have to get very close to the thing if you want to cover it completely, which is potentially pretty dangerous for you considering you're made of plants.
Yeah. Um, hmm. I think I'm still going to do it. Would this be? Would this count as charging into immediate danger without hedging my bets?
Sure, why not? I
don't
can't think of a good reason to say no.
I don't suppose I can retroactively apply the +2 forward I get from my move on that.
Does it say you have to declare it?
It just says you get two hold 2. You may spend the hold 2, and one of them is take +2 forward on an act under pressure roll.
No, I think we can do that.
Okay, so that would bring me up to an 11 on the roll.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you are scooping up the snow, and I think all of you sort of see Lafla take this huge pile of snow and almost like shoving it over on top of the tendrils as they get close. And there is this whoom sound as this large pile of snow kind of falls over on top of these tendrils of fire. And it seems to go out for the moment, but after a second, a couple of things happen. So I think a couple of the other trees nearby, the fire that is sort of surrounding them and burrowing in and out, starts to glow a little bit brighter and a little bit hotter as this one is snuffed out. And as this is happening and you're all kind of taking this in, you see something moving kind of in the top of the pile of snow. Something small, but it looks like something trying to like push its way out.
I want to try to grab it.
Okay. Sure. I'm also Smith. You act under pressure. Yeah, act under pressure.
Okay. That's cool.
It won't be when you stick your hand in a fire, though.
Well, that's a 6.
Okay. Yeah, so Smith, you go into with your hand sort of reaching into the top of this snow pile to grab at whatever this is. And I think as you do this, the snow kind of melts around it. And just for a second, your hands grasp onto something very small, just sort of a few inches long. But again, not learning, I guess, from your mistakes, all of a sudden you feel this like burst of heat hit the palms of your hands, sort of burning you, and this time definitely leaving a mark. You're gonna take another harm from the fire. But as this thing that you have grabbed sort of lets off this burst of heat, you feel it moving around, and I think you let go of it and drop it, and you just see this, but you hear this little thud on top of the pile, and you look down, and there is this tiny little creature, just 3 or 4 inches in height, humanoid in shape, and glowing this like bright red color, kind of looking up at you and breathing really hard.
Hello.
It spits at you.
Oh, this is... This is probably a terrible idea. I'm going to try and empath it.
Okay.
So I open up my brain to feel the emotions of something right there in front of me. And again, the less human they are, the less safe it is.
They're almost weird.
Oh no.
Which I was considering, but I can't even up my weird with that stat increase. It's not an option for the mundane.
You've got some dangers in the bank.
So that's still a 7. So gain a hazy impression of their current emotional state and intentions.
Okay. Yeah, I think you reach out with your consciousness, your empathetic mind toward this tiny creature. But I think as you connect, there is this like searing white light that overtakes you for just a second, and you just feel this kind of mix of fear and just rage coming from it right now. Whether it's always like that or whether it's because Smith just tried to grab it, you're not entirely sure. Could be either one.
Okay. Am I gonna need to act under pressure for that, or do you think I'm good?
I think you're good.
Okay. I will kind of stumble back from that and just. I don't know if you can understand me, but we really don't mean you harm. We just want to find out what is going on here.
I think it is sort of looking around at all of you, very, very big people, and it starts to kind of like scurry back over the snow pile. Its glow kind of flickering a little bit.
It's running away.
That's the simple way of saying what I just said. Yes.
I try to shoot it with my trank gun.
Okay. Roll to kick some ass.
Is the tranquilizer like bigger than this little creature?
It just impales it.
Not great.
We'll see.
Oh
I don't have anything that can help here. No, I don't. 9.
Okay, which I think is you inflict harm on each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm not just gonna say you kill it because that seems really sad and also sort of not fun or creative. But yeah, I think you pull out the tranquilizer, and your hands are kind of fucked, my guy, right now.
Play through the pain. Walk
There,
off.
so I think holding on to the tranquilizer gun hurts. So your aim is a little off, and so I think you sort of clip it with one of these darts, but it's very, very small, and it sort of reacts to the pain. Again, you hear this tiny little like shrieking sound, and it kind of wheels back around on the snow and starts to like scurry its way towards you. And just as it like makes its way to your boot, it sort of like grabs onto like the pants of your suit, and you see this little like flame start to form as it like singes the bottom of your suit pants and almost gets through to the skin. I'm gonna say you don't take any harm from it this time, and then it kind of like its light flickers, and then dims and dims and dims until it is this sort of little humanoid creature kind of glowing this like dim orange, and it falls over on the snow with little.
And is there still like other fire around?
Yeah.
Like okay.
That's what you just do to it. Did you kill it?
No. It's alive. Just asleep right now. We should probably take it and leave.
Yes. Your hands are already damaged enough.
Yeah. Need some aloe.
I have something in my bag, but I think speaking of, going to reach into my bag and just grab some like gauze or bandages to quickly wrap around a couple vines and try and scoop this thing up.
Okay, yeah, I think you can do that pretty much without issue.
And then, yes, try heading back to the van a bit and keep an eye, see if the tendrils follow us.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch him.
Okay, you start to head back toward the van, kind of away from the heat. Periwinkle, as you watch, none of them follow you per se, but they keep doing what they were doing. And again, I think you notice this like you did the first time Lefla sort of threw snow on it as it sort of flickers very dimly and its light seemed to go out in one of the nearby tendrils. The light starts to glow just a little bit brighter.
So as we take the little creature away, another tendril's getting brighter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well. Once we get back to the van, what are we gonna do with this little thing? It's so small.
We have some equipment. We can maybe try running some tests on it.
Yeah. Interrogate it. Dissect it. Something like that.
I do not know if either of those would be recommended. First of all, I don't think we share a language with it. And two, I imagine this thing is much more valuable to us alive.
Oh yeah. No, I don't want to kill it.
A live dissection is very much not recommended.
I'm sure we could make something work. But yeah. I mean, we'll cross the bridge and cut. We've got ways of making it talk.
Do we?
I'm sure we do. We can have a whole. I'm sure the agency has something. Let's just get back before we get set on fire.
Yeah, I think the pain is getting to your head. Let me help you with that. Can I try to help heal one of Agent Smith's boo-boos?
Yeah. You can
I don't
do.
know what that's under, but I know healing there. No?
I can.
Yeah. So basic first aid.
Yeah, basic first aid.
Yeah, doesn't require a roll or move in anything, a move or anything. So you can do that once for Smith's burns, sort of on the way back to the van, kind of bandaging them up, trying to stop the burn from getting any worse, cooling it down a little bit. So Smith, you can remove one harm to heal the other harm from those burns. It will take some time, or medical attention, or a move, or a magic spell.
I mean, I could potentially do a move for that. We'll see. Yeah, well, anyway. As we are getting further and further away, is the creature getting dimmer and dimmer? Has it kind of stabilized at a glowy orange, you said?
It seems stable for now.
Okay, and then I have one last hold from investigating a mystery. And I'm wondering if I could use it to figure out what sort of creature this is.
Sure. Let's see. There are taking a closer look at the small creature that Lefla has scooped up in some preemptively bandaged hands or vines. There are probably a few different things it could be. Obviously, it has this connection to fire, which is probably important. The way that it sort of behaves and is connected to the rest of the tendrils that you saw probably says something for how it lives. It is probably not the only creature of its kind. It did seem to sort of be able to fly to some extent, to move through the air at a pretty rapid speed, and also it's a tiny little humanoid, so it could be a lot of things. It could be some sort of elemental creature, it could be some sort of sprite or fairy or fae or something like that. It doesn't have wings. You've never seen a fairy without wings. It also could be some sort of combination of the two. All right, so you make your way back to the van. How would you like to proceed?
Well, I could try to talk to it.
All
when
right.
it wakes up, but maybe we should figure out some way to safely contain it so we don't hurt each other.
I've got a thermos, perhaps? That seems a bit cruel to contain it. But yeah, we probably have the container in here somewhere. So we look for that. We should also probably, take a picture of it and send that back to HQ, see what they can tell us, and let them know, hey, there are probably more of these things.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's a fairy, but it doesn't have wings like normal fairies do.
Yeah, let's send a report back to Aegis, and I don't know. Do we just have a jar or something we can put it in, poke some holes in the lid, or?
I mean, it was going to be my lunch, but I suppose it can be sacrificed for the mission. And I think Leflin goes and finds a jar, and it was probably, some kind of protein smoothie, and sit out the window.
Now sick gains.
Okay. Yeah. So you clean out a jar. I don't know, punch some holes in the lid, I guess.
Okay, I've got my multi-tool.
Yeah, and put the creature inside.
Okay. Well, when it wakes up, I can try with magic to see if there's a way to talk to it. I mean, you were kind of able to tell how it was feeling.
Yes, it was scared and angry, but I don't know if that is its default state of being, or if it was because, Smith had tried to shoot at it.
Yeah, and I splashed water on it, and then you threw a snowball at it, so...
Yeah, it is probably not very pleased with us, but...
Well, maybe it won't hold it against us? We didn't know what it was. But that's probably not a good sign that we kind of tried to kill it first thing.
I mean, we didn't really try to kill it. We just tried to gauge its reactions.
The needle for your tranquilizer rounds are half as big as this thing's body. Just the sheer displacement of mass alone probably could have done significant damage to this if you had managed the direct hit.
But I didn't, because I'm an excellent shot.
Right.
Let me see those hands again. And
If
he's
I-
just gonna re-look at the quick first aid that was done on them.
If I had been aiming to kill this thing, it would be dead. Just gonna put that out there.
Yes. How much harm do you currently have?
I just have one right now.
Okay. I think I'm gonna hold off on my healing move for the moment.
Oh, not hurt enough for you?
It can do up to 2
Nope.
harm. And if I screw up, I take the harm, so...
Oh, fair.
Okay. Well, I would like, when it wakes up, to try to use some magic.
Okay. Yeah. I think it takes a little bit for it to wake, and it wakes as you sort of sitting around waiting for it to come back to consciousness. It starts to flicker a little bit, sort of orange and yellow, as it seems to wake, and in a very, very humanoid fashion from the bottom of this jar, sort of sits up, and has its tiny hands, is kind of rubbing its face and its eyes, and is looking around at all of you. And what would you like to use magic to do?
I would like to, well, depending on how I roll, communicate with something that you do not share a language with.
Okay. Yeah, roll plus weird.
Alright, weird, here we go. Click. Let's see, I rolled an 11.
Okay. Yeah, on a 10 plus, it works without issue. So I think you've been sort of preparing your your spell for the past few minutes, waiting for it to wake up. And then as soon as it does, you finish your magic. And this slight glow in a like purple color to match your crystals and Periwinkle's general aesthetic settle over the creature for just a second, sort of mingling with the orange and yellow, and then fades. And I think it like shakes its head a little bit and just kind of looks up at you.
Sorry if we hurt you. We're new here and we're trying to help.
Right.
Yeah. My name is Periwinkle.
Congratulations. Where am I?
Well, you are, we're from Aegis, which you probably don't know about. You're in a safe place. You're still on your home planet. We're just, inside our vehicle.
I know almost none of those words. Let me out.
And kind of like turns to the other, be like, "It wants out."
Let me out.
Can we hear it as well, or is this just Perry?
I think Periwinkle's the only one that can understand it. I think to the other two of you, I think you hear a combination of some sort of crackling fire sounds and a little bit of like whining or shrieking, kind of the more worked up it gets. Like Tinkerbell.
Yeah. We'll let you out in a minute.
Let me out now. And I think its glow starts to come back a little bit more, and you see it's almost got it doesn't have hair on its head necessarily, but like where maybe a person would, it's got these kind of like flaming tendrils coming off, and they start to like stand up and crackle. Now!
I think Lefla quickly goes out the back of the van, scoops up some more snow, brings it back, and just said, "Let it know. I really do not want to have to use this on it, but if it is going to try to hurt us, we will have to defend ourselves."
Yeah, so we put you in that jar to keep you safe and to keep us safe. Because we didn't mean to hurt you, and maybe you meant to hurt. Anyways.
You threw so much snow at me.
Well, we apologize for that. We thought it was just a regular fire that was acting weird. We didn't realize you were you. Like I said, we're new here and we're just trying to help.
Let me out. I will burn you with the fire of 1,000 suns. Let me out!
Periwinkle doesn't laugh.
What is it saying?
Well, it doesn't want to be in there. And, it just really doesn't want to be in there.
Well, tough shit. I didn't want my hands burned. We don't always get what we want.
Periwinkle, do you think you could calm it down a bit, and I could try reconnecting with its emotions again once it is less agitated?
Yeah, I can try that. Okay, he kind of like takes a breath, and I actually have a move for this.
Okay.
Which is when you talk to somebody for a few seconds in a quiet voice, you can calm them down, blocking any panic, anger, or other negative emotions they have.
Okay. Do you have to roll for that, or that just does?
It just, it doesn't have a roll. It's a move from the Divine
Yes.
playbook.
Okay.
And I think it doesn't say a roll on there.
Okay, what do you say?
What does she say? We're just here to help, and we want to know more about you. And we want to keep you safe. And you just seem very excited right now and agitated, and I understand because everything is. Because we're new and different and scary, but like I said, we're here to help.
I think it kind of like it screws up its face a little bit, and you can see it like fuming, and its breathing kind of slows down a little bit as you connect with it, and it just kind of flops a little bit back on the floor of the jar and says,
Do you have a name?
"Yes."
May I know it?
I think it's looking at you, trying to sort of get a sense of your intentions, and it says, "Sendis."
Sendis, it's so nice to meet you. My name is Periwinkle.
"What do you want?"
This is Leffel and Agent Smith.
"I don't care, they're mean."
Well, they were only mean because they thought that they had to be. But we don't have to be anymore.
"What do you want?"
Well, this planet isn't normally so warm. There's usually snow and ice here.
Mhm.
And now there's fire and little people like you.
I think its little face like lights up, and it's like, "Mm-hmm."
Have you always been here?
No.
Where are you normally?
Away. Home. Well, old home.
So this isn't your normal home.
Oh, it will be.
Okay. I like turns to the other and be like, well, they're not from here. I think this might be. It could be an effect of the crossing, but. Or maybe they were brought here, but. These creatures are not native here. But they want to be. They want to make this their home, it seems.
Yeah, if they came here because of the crossing, then they would have been here for a long time.
Yeah.
This must be something new. Does it know anything about how it got here?
I don't know. Let me ask. So you're saying this it's your new home.
Hmm.
Do you know how you got here and the rest of your people? You travel here yourself, or?
Well, sort of. Mother sent us.
Kind of like looks at the others and be like, Mother sent them?
Whose mother?
Is this mother your people's mother? Or yours specifically?
Oh, all of us.
And she sent you here to do what?
Find a new home.
What's wrong with your old home?
It's gone now.
Oh.
But now we have this one. Or we will.
Well, this home might be a bad place for you because it's so cold here.
Well, that's why we came first. Make it warm. Make it hot. And your mother can come here.
Is your old home very, very hot?
It was. Till the ice came.
Okay. And then kind of like turns to everybody. Well, they were sent here by their mother to seemingly prepare this planet for colonizing, I guess. their old world is covered with ice now?
If they're able to make this world warm, why didn't they just do the same thing to their old world?
Perhaps it was some kind of magical ice that they could not affect.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let me see. So the ice that came, why didn't you just melt it like the ice here?
Oh, we tried. Too cold. Way too cold. We don't know where it came from. Just one day and we had to go away.
And so Mother sent you here.
And I will make this planet warm, and she'll come here. And the whole thing covered in fire.
Oh, the whole thing. Well, I trace everybody. They're just gonna make the whole thing on fire if we don't stop this. Apparently the ice was too cold for them to burn. So maybe magical?
As we know by now, magic is not a strong suit of mine. This probably goes against protocol, and there are plenty of reasons for it why I'm not thinking of, but is it really so bad if we just let them have this planet? There aren't any civilizations that we know of.
I don't know the exact date, but terraforming a planet requires certain contracts. There's zoning and permits and things like that you have to get into, and I mean, we can't just let any non-indigenous species come in and start doing whatever they want with the place. But I mean, they're I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there are warmer planets than this. There are other planets that I think might be better for them to live. I mean, whatever happened to their home planet, that's something else we can and should, I think, investigate. If there's some sort of disturbance that's causing the natural life forms to migrate, we need to get to the bottom of that. But I think this might just be a simple relocation.
Yeah. I mean, if we can't figure out what's wrong with their original world, then yeah, maybe find a suitable other home.
Yeah, I think we need to relocate them first, because if at this rate the whole environment here is going to be out of whack. I mean, I know I'm not the biggest fan of them, but the carnivorous trees here are sort of endangered, and we can't just let them just be destroyed.
Okay.
Can I come out?
What's it saying?
Hey! Hey!
Yes? Hi.
Can I come out?
If I let you out, will you promise not to hurt anybody? Because Leffler got that snow and I don't want him to have to use it on you.
I think Sendis sort of narrows their eyes and is looking over at Smith.
Can I empath it now? For this moment right here.
Yes, this specific moment.
Well, that's not great. That is a 4.
Oh no!
On a miss, your brain is overwhelmed with emotions.
Your brain is overwhelmed with emotions, and I think at first you reach out, and again there's just this like white hot sort of flash, this almost like pain behind your eyes as this rush of emotions comes through, and at first I think it's just completely disorienting and you can't sort of parse through them, and then there's this one like white hot point in the center for just a moment of just like pure hatred that starts to kind of expand out and overtake all the others, and then it almost like explodes out from the creature, and Lefla also from you. I don't know how that would manifest from you, but I think it hurts your head a lot, and you take 1 harm from it.
Okay. Well, this thing is very, very angry right now.
Well, I
It's
say
just
give me
it's
the
just
look.
glaring at Smith.
I think it's very angry at you, Jethro.
Sure, I mean, I shot it. I'd be angry too. Well, sounds like we have something to work with. Should probably get in touch with Aegis, figure out what they want us to do.
Okay.
Do we have a conservation division we can call in to start working on these?
Probably. I don't
Division
know.
of Wildlife Relocation.
You do now. As this is happening, as this conversation is happening, Lefla, I think, as the last sort of vestiges of this connection that you had with it empathically start to fade, I think you feel the emotions start to fade from its side as well, and you get this brief sense of just feeling really tired, like exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally. As you look over at the creature, it's still glaring at Smith, but its face is softening a little bit, and it kind of sits back down. It starts panting a little bit, and its orange glow starts to flicker a little bit, and says, "Can I come out, please?"
I do not think this thing is going to survive very long if we keep it locked up like this. I can go maybe get it some twigs, if that would help.
Okay.
Maybe it needs some fuel. And so I think Lefla's gonna once again hop out of the van, just pick up leaves and twigs, and holding those in one hand and snow in the other. It's like kind of offering the carrot while also showing the stick.
I think it kind of looks up at the twigs and kind of glares, almost like it's like focusing on them for a second, but nothing happens, and it kind of looks back up at Periwinkle and says, "Please, can I come out now?"
Okay. Okay, please don't do anything to... Anyway, just be careful. Okay, and is gonna unscrew the jar so Cyrus can come out.
You unscrew the jar, and it sort of lifts itself up off the ground and is able to sort of muster enough flight to make it out of the jar, and then kind of lands, I think, on like like a surface nearby, like a work surface that's in the back of the van, and it stops. Too far away.
Okay, lovely. Hand me those twigs.
Hand them over.
I'm sorry. Are you here? Will these help?
No. They're too far away.
Who? Oh, your people. Do you need to be with them?
My family.
Okay. We can take you there. I'm sorry, we didn't know that would make you feel this way. Kind of like looks at the others, be like, Cyrus needs to be close to their family, I guess. I'm worried it's hurting it that it's so far away from the rest of them. I mean, now that we know we can communicate with them, we can try this again.
Yeah. I like the ones better where you can just shoot the things. This just makes it more complicated.
Well, maybe whatever is making their world cold, you can shoot to death.
Fair. Yeah, why don't the two of you, since you seem to be on a better relationship with this thing, try to get it back to its people.
Okay.
See if it'll be willing to be sort of an ambassador for us, and I'll try to get in contact with Aegis and see if they can advise what we should do next.
Sounds
good
like
idea.
a plan.
Okay. Maybe while we're walking over there, I can think of a way to maybe expand the spell somehow so you guys can talk to them too.
That'd be good.
Okay. All right. Let's hurry. I, like, looks at Cyrus, be like, okay, do you mind if I carry you?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like scoop them up.
All right. You make your way out of the van and back in the direction of the burning trees. Are you going by yourself?
I'm going with her.
You're going. Okay, that's right. I knew somebody had said it. So the two of you start to make your way back toward the fire, following the column of smoke and the heat. And while you are doing that, Smith, can you
Yes.
roll plus sharp for me, please?
Okay. Am I gonna get attacked by a tree?
If you did, that's on you.
It's an 11.
Okay. As Periwinkle and Lefla leave with this small, fiery creature in tow, you are left behind at the van, presumably to try to contact Aegis and put together your next moves. But as they sort of disappear off to the trees and you're left alone for a moment, you feel this familiar sensation coming on, this sort of pain in your head. It's familiar to you because it has woken you out of a very deep sleep before. You get a hunch that something bad is about to happen.
No.
You get this sort of piercing pain in your head, and this time you don't see anything, but all of a sudden every sound around you becomes amplified and everything is just really loud. Every rustling in the trees you can hear from very far away, this crackling of this fire, the sounds of things shifting as you move around the van, and then all at once it all stops and goes silent. And then from off near the edge of the clearing, you very distinctly hear this voice, very small, very high pitched, maybe a little gravelly, but very distinctly, just for a moment, saying, "Help us." And let's go ahead and take a break
Okay.
with that.
Over.
Ruminate, ponder, think about it, even. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us so far, for watching this new mystery that is a little bit different from the ones that we have had so far. I hope everybody's having fun. We're gonna take a quick break to refresh ourselves, and we'll be back with more in just a couple of minutes. And welcome back, Internet. We are going to continue this session of All Myths Are True, or one of our Monster of the Week games here on game nights. So let's jump right back in. Smith, you just had a hunch. A capital H hunch.
Yes. Take a handful of ibuprofen again. Get rid of the headache.
I feel like I should be tracking how much ibuprofen Smith has taken in the last, 3 hours.
A lot.
He tells Lefla they would be keeping an eye, like, maybe you should cut back a little bit.
Downs some water and says, "Yeah, if I get knocked unconscious this time," and will head the direction that their hunch is leading them.
Okay. So yeah, you heard this this voice There's a cat in here. Hello, cat. You heard this voice coming from the edge of this clearing where the van is parked. Oh God, sorry. He kept looking like he was gonna jump on me. Hi, buddy. Hi. And I think right off the tree line, you okay? Right off the tree line, I think in some. Please don't stand on my keyboard. Right off the tree line in one of the in the branches of one of these trees, I think you see a little bit of rustling and try to focus in, and you see where. Do you want to run the game or what? And you kind of see, you focus in and kind of feel where that voice was coming from because you have this sort of weak connection to it. And as you get closer to the tree, you see a little bit of rustling and something very, very small looking out from behind some leaves on this tree.
Hello? Do you understand me?
I think you see a little head poke out from behind a leaf. Hello?
You speak the same language as me, whatever language this is we're speaking. You speak. What's the name of our planet again?
I don't know. What's the name of your planet?
Isn't it Locust?
It is.
You speak Loci? Loken? You speak Logan?
Some.
Are you okay? I heard you calling for help.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong?
The fire.
What fire? The fire in the woods.
The fire. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It's killing our trees. And I think this little creature starts to very, very quickly sort of scramble down the side of the tree and kind of make its way across a lower branch. Why are you making that face? Makes its way across a lower tree branch toward you, and as it gets closer, it is built similarly to the creature Sendis that you previously had trapped in a jar, but it doesn't glow. It's got this dark sort of slate gray skin with sort of crackles running all across it, almost as if it is made out of stone. And it kind of makes its way to the end of a tree branch and says, "They're going to kill all the trees?"
Wait, the fire. There are creatures like you controlling the fire. Are they family, relatives of yours?
They're not from here.
Okay. So you're from here. Your people live here.
Yes.
And okay. Well, we spoke with one of them, Ascendus, one of the fire sprites or whatever kind of creatures you are, whatever you call yourselves. People, yeah, one of the fire people. We're gonna try to fix it. We're gonna try to send them home.
Okay.
Where are the rest of your people?
Around. Hiding dead,
They've been killing them?
burning them in the tree. The trees, they try to protect us, but
Okay. Well, if the fire people are that way, right? Kind of pointing back to where we saw them earlier.
some, mhm,
Are there more?
maybe.
Can you and your people, is there somewhere safe you can go?
We thought our home was safe.
We're gonna make it safe again.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're here.
Are you the Watchers?
The Watchers?
Hmm.
I don't know that. I don't know what that is. Who are the Watchers?
The others, the far away ones, the trees, they tell us someone's watching. Listening? So they listen back. Teach us some words? Is that you?
Am I familiar with anything in Aegis, like trying to communicate with the creatures that lived on the? Because as far as we know, there was nobody on this planet.
No. You know, I mean, Aegis had a lot of information about this planet from their scans. For all intents and purposes, anytime they encounter a new world that they haven't before, they look for anything living on it that they can communicate with. It's how you've sort of built relationships with other worlds, or at least found these other worlds, like the Orcombe world that you're able to learn a lot about. There's nothing saying that the scans that they make or the watching that Aegis does is secret from anything on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just no one's ever asked. It's not totally out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah. You said that the trees speak with these Watchers and translate for you?
Well, they hear.
They hear.
Mm.
Any trees specifically? Could you take me to them?
Okay.
Do you have a leader or somebody in charge?
Oh. We are one.
One. You have
Together.
like a hive mind.
Okay.
Do you think the same things, or you can communicate via thought?
We share.
Okay. What's your name? Let's start there.
Oris.
Oris. Okay.
The trees, they say, and it like thinks really hard for a second, and then sort of like sticks its little hand out. Your name?
Smith.
Like wiggles its
Oh,
hand.
I like hold one of my fingers towards them.
Just kind of touches it. Like it got this far and then didn't really know what to do with it. Is the trees, they say.
Yeah. That's right. So the trees know a lot about the other worlds, the Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could? Do you think I could talk to these trees?
Can try.
Could you help me?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do?
Follow. This way, Smith.
I follow.
Okay, and it starts sort of darting off through the trees to the sort of northwest of where you are parked, and you follow this small creature darting through branches. It doesn't move super fast because it's very small, but you sort of carefully watch it and keep up as you are doing this, Lefla and Periwinkle, you finish your snacks and you you make it back to where this fire was burrowing through several of the trees. You're following the stream, and as you are making this journey, I think Sendus over time is sort of perking up a little bit more, and the closer you get, the glow sort of starts to return to their form. They start to sort of glow very hot again, not aggressively so, I don't think, because they've made it this far and you haven't just like tried to squish them. And I think they have taking a little bit of a liking to Periwinkle, and I think are like side-eyeing Lefla a little bit because of the snow. They think you're some sort of like abominable snowman or something, maybe. But yeah, and they, I think, as you go, they like will flit up out of your hands and start to kind of fly. And as they do this, kind of traveling alongside you, this small trail of sort of fire is kind of coming off of them, not harming anything immediately, but.
Do you feel better?
Much, yes.
Okay, so we're sorry about that. We didn't know. So is this where your people are mainly located? Are they all over this planet? Or just
no, some here, some there. They're around, I'm sure.
Right. Well, Lefla, they're feeling better now that they're closer.
That is good to hear. Ask Sindis if perhaps they would be amenable to meeting with us again once we have a better sense of what is going on, and see if they can maybe tell their family to. No, that I was gonna say to cool it a bit, but maybe slow things down a bit. Let them know that we are working on trying to see if we can do anything about the home world.
Yeah. Okay. Saris, do you have you mentioned mother, but is there someone else here who is sort of in charge that we can talk to, or are you the best one to talk to?
Well, there's lots of us. Talking. I don't think they would like you.
Oh, okay. Do you like us?
You.
Right. Okay. And like I said, we're here to help, and we want to help you with. We think we could maybe help you with your old world.
Can you do fire?
I mean, I haven't tried before, but I can probably.
Try.
Oh, okay. Give me a second, and we're gonna pull out one of her crystals, sort of. I guess try to make some fire. Can I do that?
Sure, why not?
Can I do some weird magic stuff?
Yeah, use magic.
Use the magic. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think she's made fire before. We'll see how this goes. Well, that's a 7.
Okay.
So that's how that do.
So we have choose your effect and your glitch.
Okay, let me look at it. I feel like a glitch is that it doesn't last very long, probably.
Okay, that's fair. So we'll say, do one thing that's beyond human limitations seems reasonable.
Yeah, that seems like the
Uh,
one that sort of fits, I guess. Yeah.
And then the effect is of short duration, I think.
Yeah, maybe just like flares up for a minute and then goes out.
Okay.
pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
So yeah, I think Sendus is sort of just watching, super antsy and kind of flitting around both of you, and then like they'll get a little too close to Lefla, and then like back off a little bit. Watch them. Is like watching you, and as they get their energy back, are kind of like moving faster and faster, and kind of getting back to where they were when you first encountered them burning holes through the trees. And so, just very briefly, this light sort of emanates from your hand, and you feel this warmth as you're able to conjure this small kind of ball of flame, just for a moment. But as you focus on it, as quickly as it came, it kind of snuffs out. And I think you both hear this like squeal from the tiny creature, and good.
Yeah, so I'm not the only one who can do magic, and I'm sure we can figure out what's wrong with your homeworld, and we can fix it.
Okay.
But although this seems like a good new home for you, it might be good to maybe hold off for a while. I know you're trying to prepare this planet, but if we can make your homeworld better, then you won't need to prepare this one anymore.
Well, Mother sent us here, so we're here now.
Okay. Do you know why Mother sent you here specifically?
Nope.
Okay. So there's probably not a chance that you guys would stop, huh?
Nope.
Right. Kind of like turns left and be like, yeah, they're pretty determined. I don't think they're gonna stop. Though they seem very excited by the fact that maybe we fix their homeworld, but whoever this mother is definitely direct them to change this world.
Guess we are going to have to somehow figure out where the homeworld is and get there and fix the problem before they burn this one completely to ashes.
Yeah.
As you say that, I think from the other side of some of these trees, I think you can see like off in the distance or slowly, I guess is a relative term, being burnt out. There is this large crashing sound of a tree falling and sort of crashing to the forest floor, and I think you hear another sort of squeal, sort of shrieking sound that is met by several others, and then farther off in the distance a different sound. As from off behind these trees where this tree has fallen, there is this crackling as some of the fire picks up and starts to actually engulf a couple of the trees, and you start to hear this hissing sound, a sort of hissing and breathing as if there is something sort of in the forest through the trees. And I think Sendus sort of lights up again and says, "Family."
Okay. This fire's gonna be a problem.
Just very quickly, the squealing that we heard as the tree was crashing, was that excited squealing like, yay, we got it? Okay, so what then?
Okay. Like, hurrah! Versus like, oh no, I'm dying!
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if we should go any further here, Harry. I do not like the look of that.
Yeah. Hey, Saris.
Hmm.
We probably can't get much closer. Um, the we're not handled for fire as well as your people might be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we have to stay here, but we'd like to talk to you again.
Okay.
So how can we find you? Do you guys? I take it you're just gonna keep burning this spot for a while?
Yes. Well, family is here. Hmm.
Right.
We may move soon. But
Okay.
come back to this spot. Follow the trees.
Okay. All right, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you next time.
Bye-bye. Yeah, just excited look on their face, and they sort of flit away. I saw a trail of fire kind of following them off into the trees towards this this sort of hissing noise.
Okay. So hopefully Agent Smith has gotten back to Aegis, and I don't know what we should do here. I mean, we want to find their home, but we don't really have any leads to go on yet.
Well, hopefully, based on the information we already sent back to Aegis, someone will be able to do something. I don't know if this would be a stretch if we just have like a magical essence scanner that we could have like scanned them and sent it back and been like, hey, can you figure out what planet they belong on?
I think based on the information you have, there's probably enough to go on where they can at least be starting the process of trying to like match to see if there is anything that like if this is something that has been encountered before.
Yep.
If not, there might be some bigger processes involved.
I mean, I understand that they want to make this place their new home, but I worry that they're gonna destroy too much. Already changed a lot of things here.
Yes, well, it is a rather big planet, so hopefully we have some time. And I mean, forest fires are typically good for growth, assuming it doesn't burn everything down.
Okay. Well, let me do some stuff with my crystals, and maybe I can figure out how to expand this spell. So maybe you can also talk to Saris.
That would be good, but for now, perhaps we should start heading back. I don't know if you can actually hear me and respond to me. Perhaps,
Sorry.
yes, perhaps for now we should start heading back before it gets too smoky here.
Yeah, it's getting kind of hard to breathe.
And the advantages of being short, the smoke is way up there.
Yeah, you're lucky.
All right, so the two of you start making your way back toward the mom van once again. And as you do this, I think this this sort of hissing sound from within the trees starts to get a little bit louder as the fire starts to crackle up more and sort of releasing more smoke into the air. And you can see kind of off through where Sendis has gone more trees that are sort of being taken over by these creatures. And for just a second, I think a glimpse of some of these similar fire tendrils, but much larger than the ones you had encountered before, sort of wrapping around a couple of these trees. make your way out of the smoke and out of the heat and back toward the van where presumably Agent Smith is, but guess what? No, he's not. Because of course he's not.
He's the son of a bitch get captured again.
Let's find out. Rewind. Next time on. So yeah, Smith, you are following this other small creature as it sort of leaps through the trees, and every now and then will sort of stop and look back and make sure you're still following it.
I'm here. Keep going.
I think it does that every so often. And after a few minutes, it leads you to this rock formation on like a short cliffside, and kind of makes its way over. And I think you hear a little bit of like chattering as it kind of crawls and skitters around the face of the rock, sort of making its way in and out of some cracks. And then I think after a moment, you see like a few other little places of movement and little heads sort of poke their way out, and some quiet like chattering between all of them.
I just look at Oris and say, if we kind of looked at all of them and kind of trying to get Oris to communicate. He's like, I'm not here to hurt anyone. Here to help.
Family.
So where is the trees that you communicate through, the ones that told you about these watchers?
Nearby. What do you wish to know?
I kind of pat around. I think I find like I have my badge, which has like the Aegis symbol on it, and I say, ask them if this connects with the Watchers, or if the Watchers are something different.
You get like they skitter up like close to you and look like very focused for just a moment, and they go back to this rock formation, and there's a little bit more of the chattering, and then I think you see several of these creatures along with Oris kind of climb up to the top of this rock formation, looking around for a moment, and then they scatter and start to climb up the face or the trunk of one rather large tree nearby, and you see them all kind of stop in different places, just like palms of their tiny hands on the bark of the tree, and then they just stop for a moment, and everything is very quiet and peaceful. And then I think after nothing happens for a moment or so, you kind of standing there awkwardly, you see the branches of this tree that they are all latched onto start to shift and move. And it sort of lets out this groaning sound. And the creatures sort of stay latched onto it for a moment. And then Oris from the front of the tree sort of flips around, sort of holding onto it like a tiny little Spider-Man, hanging onto the side of a tree. It says, "Smith."
Yeah.
The tree. It knows.
Okay. What did it say?
That's you. The Watchers.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. There's another cryptic interdimensional organization that's currently looking out over. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I'm
know those words.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm with the Watchers, or what you call the Watchers. We're called Aegis.
What is that?
It stands for something.
It stands?
You can call us the Watchers. That's fine. But we're here to help. We come to places like this and we help people like yourselves that are dealing with things that aren't supposed to be there, like the fire, the other creatures, and the other creatures in the fire. I want to take them somewhere else, somewhere where they're not going to hurt people like they've been hurting your people. Do the trees know about the worlds that these creatures came from? Has it heard anything about a mother?
I'll ask. And they sort of sit there, back to the tree, sort of palms hanging onto the edges, and close their eyes for a second, and then open them again. They're home. So cold.
That's what they told us, is that their home was covered in ice. Do you know anything about this ice? Did the same thing happen here? Is that why it's usually so cold here?
No. Our cold is good, nice. Supposed to be. That cold, it eats things like the trees.
Do you know what's Do you know what's causing the cold?
No. The trees, they can't see it. They can see Mother. Their mother. The others.
What is their mother?
Bright, hot. She has many names from many people. The others, the ones that come here, they call her Mother, but she's been places before. Sekhmet, Hephaestus, Pele, Mahuea. She has lots of names. The trees, they have seen her, they know. She's been lots of places. But now she needs a home.
Is there a way that you could both live here?
They don't think Mother thinks so.
Do the trees know how they got here?
They can show you.
Okay.
Don't get too close.
Okay.
The hot place. They'll point the way. And I think Aura sort of looks up, and for another moment, a very slow groaning sort of comes out, and a lot of the branches of the trees start to like move ever so slowly, so they're all kind of pointing to one side. And you see just very slowly this kind of line of movement happening across some of the trees here, pointing you north-ish.
Okay, north. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a question. Do the trees actually eat people? I heard that someplace, and I don't know if it's true.
Not our people.
Not your people. Okay, but my kind of people. You probably wouldn't know, would you? No. Okay. I'll keep my distance. Thank you. We're going to take care of this. You can find me and there are 2 others with me. They're also watchers. Back near where you found me before. Not too far away. There's a shiny box made of sort of dark and reflective. It looks different. It's not from around here. It's ours. You can find us there.
I think it thinks really hard for a second and closes its eyes and open them. Mother. The trees say. Your mother.
My
Box.
mother. Yeah, we came out. Yeah, I can see why you might. Yeah, my mother. Sure. Thank you, Oris. And
Thank you.
Thank the trees for me. Okay. I'm gonna get back to my people, and we're gonna try to help.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. And I start heading back towards the van.
Okay. So just as Lefla is terrified that you have been kidnapped again, Smith, you make your way out of the trees. You weren't quite as far away as they were about the time that Lefla and Periwinkle have made it back and are looking for you. The 3 of you reconvene at the Imam van.
Oh, you're back. Good.
And so are you. Where did you go?
Long story. I made a friend. There are other creatures here. Our intel was wrong. They're small. They're like Sendus and their people. His name was Oris, and there's a whole race of them that live here. Smaller people, like sprites, but they're dying because of the fire. And they talked to the trees, and they said that wherever they're coming from, the fire is coming from the north. So
Okay.
I don't know what to do with that. It's just more information. They called us the Watchers. Apparently they've learned some things from us. The trees are picking up our broadcasts. I don't know how. Don't ask me to explain it, but
Well, I hope they're at least getting the good channels from us.
yeah, well they could speak. Anyway.
Okay. Well,
But they knew a little bit about the ice, and they said it's colder than here, and it's I guess malevolent in some sort of way. They didn't know much about it, and they knew about Mother though. Didn't sound good.
okay. Well, that makes things better, but also makes things more complicated.
Yeah.
That there is actually at least 2 races here that call us their home, that are sentient.
Yeah. It sort of makes our first idea of the fire creatures making this their home kind of not such a good idea.
Yes.
I think we need to more heavily look into relocating them.
Alright, well, let's fire off an updated report to Aegis and head north.
Yeah, sounds good. And I'll get working on. I'll send a report to Aegis. More of a class 3 contamination, non-indigenous species. Something. Big words.
Yeah, that.
Whoever was naming these policies got really bored at some point.
Big words.
Um, and I'll put in a request for it, and I don't know if I need to roll, requesting either personnel or equipment or something to assist us in trying to relocate these fire sprites to a new planet, someplace that they won't do as much damage.
Okay. Yeah, I think that qualifies as. I forgot the name of your move. Whatever your move is.
It's just my professional thing when I deal with the agency.
Oh yes, that.
Yeah, I gotta roll sharp.
Over that thing.
Oh, let's mixed success. So on a 7 to 9, things aren't so great. You might get chewed out by your superiors, and there will be fallout, but you get what you need for the job.
Okay. Yeah. So I think you, with the help of your team, sort of send in this report of what is actually going on here, and ask them to scramble the troops and try to first find a place where you could theoretically send these creatures, and then to send someone with the appropriate gear and equipment and know-how to you to help round them up and relocate them to a place that is not this one. So yeah, you send off this report. We'll see how that 8 plays out when you return. Because yeah, you might get chewed out again.
Yep.
But yeah, so you, the 3 of you sort of gather all this information. Smith, you send off this report. It is at least acknowledged that it has been received. And I think you also receive a quick reply that Aegis is currently working on compiling information to try to figure out exactly where it is these things came from. If anything can be located, if anything can be done for them, and if not, trying to sort of gain enough information about them to figure out where they should send them. It's going to take a little time. But in the meantime, you set out again northward, following the trees. And after a little bit of travel time, Periwinkle and Leffla, I think you see this happen for the first time. There's a moment where I think, Smith, you sort of get close to a couple of trees and you hear that same sort of creaking, like groaning sound, and the branches of the trees move, kind of pointing you along a path.
Yeah, don't get too close to them. I never really got confirmation on whether they eat people, so just wide berth, wave, smile, don't show fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, good to know.
So you travel for a while, and the trees pointing you northward, and then sort of banking off, pointing you kind of towards the northeast. As you make your way through, it starts to get warmer and warmer in the direction that you are going very quickly. And then sort of off in the distance, you get to sort of a point where some of the trees have been cleared away, knocked down. There are scorch marks and sort of burnt out trees that have been knocked over, some that are still standing but have been burrowed through to create these tunnels again within them, and they're all sort of dried out. And off in the distance, you see probably the edge of what was some of the tundra, or the subarctic part of this this world, or at least this part of it that you are in, some rock formations, some kind of coming up to plateaus, and then off in the far distance, some mountains. But you start to hear as you walk through this sort of portion of the land that has been scorched, more crackling. You can see more smoke, and then you kind of step out of a tree line, and there is this like large flat area that has just been completely burned out. The whole section of this forest leading up to these rock formations, and at the top, you see of one of these plateaus, you see this kind of orange-red glow, and you start to hear a almost like a bubbling sound. And it seems like that is where a lot of the heat is coming from.
That doesn't sound good.
No, if that's what I think it is, I can't imagine the sudden appearance of a volcano is ever good for the ecosystem.
Yeah. I feel like something like this should have showed up in the reports. Whole volcano. Well, do you think maybe that's what Ceres means by mother?
I'm gonna hope that the mother isn't here yet. Maybe that's the portal that brought him here.
And
Yeah, maybe.
I suppose one way to find out. And Luffla's gonna start heading towards the bubbling.
All right, as you take off through the slush and that is sort of left over from the snow melting in this area, through the sort of dried out and burnt husks of the trees that once stood nearby, toward this ominous bubbling glow at the top of one of these rocky plateaus, we're gonna go ahead and end our session for the day. I'm gonna turn off the volcano sounds.
That's what it is.
Haha.
It's just labeled volcano.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What?
Figured it out. Solved your mystery.
You solved my volcano mystery.
Just gotta kill. Now we know it's a volcano. We can kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we will pick up there next time in 2 weeks. Thanks everybody for watching. Hang out with us in chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching it. We really appreciate it. And hope you guys had a lot of fun. So yeah, let us very briefly do our end of session thing. Where is the handout? There it is. All right, let's see how many XPs you get. At the end of each session, the keeper will ask the following questions. Did we conclude the current mystery?
Yep, there's a volcano.
Yep.
We can go home now.
Yep.
Found it. Done.
Global warming caused by
I mean,
volcanoes.
technically figured out our mission,
I
but
didn't say did you figure out your mission. I said did you conclude the current mystery?
Exactly.
That is a check for yes. No.
I'm gonna say no. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
not really.
Well, did I save Oris?
Did
Because I
you?
assume with my hunch that things were gonna be bad if I didn't go there.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. You would know.
I'll say yes, but I'm not gonna tell you why
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Is it with my two exposures to danger? I would have died.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Did you learn something? Did we learn something new and important about the world?
trees get radio.
Yes.
The trees are
Maybe
listening.
talking trees are listening and they know how to speak.
I mean, we
So-
learned a lot of new stuff about this world.
I would
specifically.
say so. Okay. Did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Mm,
Not yet, because Smith is still being secretive about his hunches, so
I got nothing to hide.
just won't tell
No one has asked me if I'm having visions yet.
All right, that's 2 yeses. So 1 XP for
Hey,
everyone.
that puts me over the edge.
Yay!
Nice.
Yay.
I have
Yeah,
to pick
some
a
of
thing.
you are improving or just improved or very close to improving. So yeah, we'll talk about those next time. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having fun.
I'm loving this a lot.
I'm glad. Yeah, that's all I got for today, and we're approaching the end of our time. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you guys for playing, and we'll be back in 2 weeks unless the Florida breaks off and floats into the ocean or something. And even then, I don't know. We might get internet out there, so we'll see what happens.
Atlantis
wish-
has fiber.
Wish us luck in the coming hurricane. We'll be back in 2 weeks. In the meantime, I think tomorrow night we're going to try to stream the weird
Oh yeah.
forest game that Dylan and Sean have invented. So yeah, look out for an announcement for that. If you haven't watched our previous streams of the forest, I'm positive they're on YouTube, and I'm also positive that you should watch them because they were completely ridiculous, and that game is I'm really excited to play it again. So if we get to do that tomorrow, we'll tweet about it and stuff. And then as far as Saturday goes, we'll see. But we'll let you know. And our regularly scheduled things will most likely happen at their regularly scheduled times. Those things are on our Twitch page and also on our Twitter, to which we are very soon going to post an updated calendar to include our new show, Slaying 101, and the return of Tidefall, among other things. So, lots of big stuff coming down the pipe. And yeah, any last words? That sounded ominous.
That did sound very ominous.
Words?
Anything you guys want to say before we go away for the night?
Don't forget to floss.
I was gonna do the dance, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm sitting down. I'm not standing up." Just for that joke. Yeah, floss. It's good for you. And follow us on Twitter and join our Discord to get updates about all of this stuff that we are doing. But yeah, we will see all of you next time. And until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.